Hello, dear friends. Messages from heaven abound, but few are as clear like this one. Opinion piece. Definitive message 1111. Crossroads of Humankind. Message to people of Earth. Division against cosmic law. The great fall began in Atlantis. Everyone has fallen for the same reason. It's not right if it's not good for everyone. Spain wakes up with massive protests. Let's start. Humankind is at the crossroads, at a place where two opposing paths cross because of the constant division between those who follow the cosmic law and those who choose selfish self-service against it. This division is not new, but has been repeated many times throughout all failed civilizations, according to James Gilliland of SETI, who has had well-documented contact for over 37 years with benevolent visitors from the stars, very advanced spiritually and technologically, and has just received a message from humanity, perhaps the most important in his career as a contactee. Message to the people of Earth 1111. We are a consortium of councils that have watched over the Earth since it was born from its sun as a hot gaseous ball of energy, which found a cradle orbit and then cooled and collected water at the mass of stars. This formed what you call the Earth's crust. It has been a process of 7.5 billion years. Once habitable, there were many attempts to colonize the Earth. Over time, various types of humans developed naturally during these colonizations. These colonies date back more than 600 million years, the remains of which have been found uncensored. This is attested to by the great megalithic monuments, rock cut, hieroglyphs, and petroglyphs depicting what are called flying saucers, were exactly what their artists were seeing. Division. We have seen colonies and civilization come and go. It's time for you to know your true history, so as not to repeat the past. There is a common recurring event that preceded the end of these civilizations. A division occurred between those who lived according to universal law and those who choose self-service by acting against cosmic law. There were those who lived in the service of their Creator, within all of creation, and those who exploit others and the planet to gain power over the others, wealth and fame. There were also those who came to Earth with the sole reason of exploiting people and resources. This exploitation at the lowest levels included the use of humanity as food source. Those who did this were completely disconnected from the God within them. In fact, some hated humankind and nature because both were a testimony of the one God. These degenerate beings were very intelligent and manipulated much of humanity into doing their bidding. It had to be a free will decision. These are the forces behind war and disease that take advantage of the simplicity of the war between good and evil. These forces were the inspiration behind kings and leaders to war against each other. They manipulated their subjects by demonizing their enemies, that is, those who had something they wanted. They created fear and division, and then used all the weapons at their disposal to dispense with their enemies. There has been a common theme in the demise of these ancient civilizations. Each of them would rise up, split into factions, and end up in power struggles that would ultimately lead to their demise. Failures. In the days of Sumeria and Mesopotamia, many beautiful cities were built, but later ruined by atomic weapons used against each other. They did not count on the deadly winds, the radiation that annihilated its inhabitants from the cities they decimated. Territory wars go out of control and weapons evolved beyond their spirituality. Atlantis and Lemuria were the second attempt in our known history to colonize Earth. The Pleiadians, peaceful Lyrans fleeing conflicts in ancient Lyra, colonized the Pleiades system, the Orion system, and the Hyades, a desolate colony most would rather not live in. Then they came to Earth, Mars, and Maldek or Miluna, as some called her. Both Atlantis and Lemuria traveled through space and originated from the same lineage. In Atlantis, a fall of universal law began. They worshipped science and intellect. Their science overtook their spirituality, and they began to use it to monitor, control, and dominate others. The Lemurians wanted the Atlantis that they were going against cosmic law, and this always ends in destruction. They were right. This was seen as a threat. The Atlanteans launched their lightning ships, melting the Lemurian cities. To this day, a large sheet of glass remains, all that remains of its beautiful cities. The space-traveling Lemurians also guided a meteor to hit Atlantis. The Earth has always been a turbulent planet, with earthquakes, tidal waves, massive volcanic eruptions, and pole shifts. It was not always the civilization's decision to go against the universal law which caused its demise. There has also been divine intervention, as in the case of Sodom and Gomorrah. These two cities fell due to their own decline. Crime, sexual abuse, bestiality, and moral degeneration created a downward spiral in evolution, and those you refer to as archangels, the Andromedan Council, decided that they should be surgically removed so as not to infect the rest of the planet. This is happening today with leaders who have been taken over by the same degenerate forces, visible and invisible. Crime, drugs, poverty, arrogance, division, and degenerate behavior are no different than the days of Sodom and Gomorrah. Chance. The people of Earth have a choice. The choice is to live in accordance with cosmic law and join the rest of the universe in peace, opening the door to wisdom and technologies that will end war, disease, and poverty, making a quantum leap in evolution, or take a downward spiral that would end in social, economic, and environmental collapse. That is the path of your ancestors who had to start over as primitive men. We can be guided and do the bidding of visible and invisible degenerate forces that go against universal law, profiteers of war and disease, participating in their degenerate acts to crave power over others, wealth and fame, which gives rise to the collapse of civilization. We can also be guided from the God within, the heart helped by the beautiful teachers, saints, and sages, including the spiritually and technologically advanced ones from outside the world, some of whom are our ancient ancestors, who did not have to start over and continue to evolve spiritually and technologically. This is the crossroads that humanity now finds itself and at, and humankind must take a decision and make that decision known to the heavens. Your prayers are heard. Correction and contact must be initiated by you, and free will must be respected in this process. The earth will have a chance if enough people ask for it, choose to rise to the occasion, choose universal law, and hold their leaders accountable. Make your voices and intentions known. Don't give your power to others. Expect others to do it for you. Most are not. what they say they are. The power is within. The universal law is written in the heart of the hearts of all humankind. Universal peace, brotherly love, individual freedom, and prosperity for all. Simply put, if it's not good for everyone, it's not good. Be a blessing to life. Breaking news. Turkey sues the Israeli Prime Minister at the International Criminal Court. Lula accuses Israel of attacking hospitals with the excuse of war. Wall Street Journal opinion. The West should welcome Gaza refugees. AMLO calls Milei an ultra-conservative fascist for criticizing Pope Francis. Sanchez supports Massa's candidacy for the Argentine presidency. Spain wakes up. Millions of people take to the streets against the political coup. Social networks explode with the uprising in Spain, and Tucker Carlson joins it. Millions of British households turn off the refrigerator to save money. There is a risk of suffering an electrical blackout this winter, according to Zero Edge. The life expectancy of men in the US falls to 73 years, 6 years less than women. The House of Representatives passes a government financing bill without allocating funds for Ukraine or Israel. Indonesia could apply to join the BRICS. Curious. Pentagon UFO chiefs resigns after warning recent sightings could be foreign powers. 6 Russian cosmonauts isolate themselves for a year to simulate an expedition to the moon. China launches the fastest internet in the world, with a link of 1.2 terabytes per second. Nicolas Cage's new film discovers strange science of dreams. The problem when you open the gates of hell is that the demons come out and come to steal what they want. Fill yourself with humor and joy, and they won't be able to touch you. What a bright night it is when an otherwise dark and moonless night is filled with a soft glow, allowing observers to see distant mountains or read the newspaper. Pliny the Elder, an army commandant in ancient Rome, described the phenomenon as a night sun 113 years BC. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.